Greetings and welcome to Connecting with Intent Show. I'm your host Muhammad Awais. On this episode, we have a very special guest. He is the owner of David Stephens Consulting. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, David Stephens. David, welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who were you surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
Well, I've been doing it my entire life. I did not know what it was called until about 2012, and it's called servant leadership. And what servant leadership does is it inspires people. It brings up your employees and makes sure they're doing the best they can and giving them more respect. It's completely opposite of bossing.
Mhm. What is your higher purpose in life?
My daily goal is to put the smile on the faces of at least one person every day. It's usually quite a bit more. My other goal is to encourage other people to be successful. That's
Yeah,
what I enjoy more than anything.
that's a powerful purpose. What have been top three greatest challenges that you have had to overcome?
Most people do not understand what servant leadership is. And you've probably heard the term, I can't wait until I'm the boss. And the usual answer to that is, I would say, why? And they would answer by saying, so I can tell everyone what to do. I had 78 designers working for me. I didn't want to tell them what to do. I expected them to know what to do. And so my thing with servant leadership is also a combination of bringing in super performers so that they can get their work done. And I haven't really had anything that's held me back. So I'm just a little bit different. Those I took those 78 designers and I ended up with 63 designers doing more projects in less time with fewer errors, which meant the revenues and the earnings for the company went up.
Okay. What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
My greatest failure was when I was in the Air Force, and my commander was doing some things he shouldn't have been doing, and I caught him on them, and he punished me. And I'm 20 something year old kid, didn't know what to do, so I called a friend of my father. That was Senator John Tower, chairman of the United States Senate uh, 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 military. So he sent in a representative to come in and talk with me and other people. And they found out the allegations I made were true. And even though I was an E3, which is enlisted man, my commander, who was an O5, got fired. And so it's just a matter of being able to do the right thing for other people. And that's what I've always tried to do.
Okay. What is the most impactful book you have read and what did you learn from it?
Who Moved My Cheese? And the reason I like the book is it is about change. And it's a mouse going around a maze trying to get food, little pieces of cheese and everything like that. And then they move it after a while. And the mouse didn't know what to do, couldn't find out what to do. And so the whole book is about change. Change, in the way I work, change for the sake of change is not very good. But change that is for the better is good. And people need to know the difference and they have to understand the difference. And that book does a good job of doing that.
Yeah.
It's a very simple little bitty book and it's real easy to read.
What are your goals for the next 12 months?
Well, I've been working with my publisher on my new book called The Rise of the Anti-Boss. It's about servant leadership and what the difference is between servant leadership and bossism. At the same time, we are building a new website, and it's called www.bossismisdead.com. And that's in work right now. We're not ready to release it yet either. But that's my goal. I think we can have that done by the end of the year.
Yeah. What advice you will give to younger yourself?
Uh, Work for other people. Uh, my younger self, I've been doing servant leadership since 1973. So I've been doing it for a long time. And I really enjoy helping people. That's one of my greatest joys. And I would recommend anybody who wants to move into leadership roles to understand the difference between servant leadership and being a boss. So, being a boss too often is a dead end role. Bosses don't like anyone trying to take their job. And so, what happens is bosses like to hire people who are on the bottom end of the scale, 2 ranks below them, so that they can tell their people what to do. Problem is when you have people like that working for you and people don't know what to do, then those projects are usually late, behind schedule. Whereas me, I want people who know what they're doing so I don't have to answer questions that much and they can be successful, which makes me successful. And bosses never get that.
What would you say about your guest appearance on this show?
Oh, I like it so far. Yeah, it's great. I appreciate the opportunity.
Thank you so much for your kind words. I really appreciate for this. What closing thoughts would you like to share with our listeners?
When my book comes out, get it, read it, and it will open your eyes because a lot of people have worked with horrible bosses. I've worked in India before for Maruti. I had a project I was doing for Maruti, and the attitude in business is sometimes a bit different from my attitude, and they belittle people. They want to be the boss, things like that. And that's not good for your employees. What's good for your employees is to give them the opportunity to be successful. Because if you give your employees the opportunity to be successful, guess who else is going to be successful? You will be.
Yeah,
If just the boss wants to make themselves successful, they don't care about the employees, they're always going to be behind on their projects.
yeah. Thank you so much, David, for sharing your wisdom with us today. On the behalf of Connecting with the Intent community and our entire team, we really appreciate you. This is Muhammad West. Until the next episode, all good wishes.